Welcome to Grand Prix 3, everybody. Oh yes, here we are in Grand Prix 3. I'm slowly but surely getting ready for our hardcore season that we're going to have in Grand Prix 3, and I thought I'd make this little pre-season video, season intro, whatever you want to call it. Just a short race, 20% race in Australia. And yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I probably need some good tips if you have more experience of Grand Prix 3. It's almost like a new game for me, to be honest. Today we're going to drive a Williams of Jacques Villeneuve, the car number 1. Simply because, as you've heard the news, Williams was just recently sold to some American investors. That's pretty sad. It's an end of an era, definitely, in Formula 1. But anyway, we're going to drive a Williams. Here's my setup that I'm using for this race. I have a little bit more downforce than usually with other cars like Ferrari and McLaren. You can get away with a little bit less downforce because those cars have more grip. And here are the suspension settings. If you have any good tips setup wise, please let me know. I do feel this setup is alright. The car behaves rather well, but it's just not very fast, as you can pretty soon see. This here is my qualifying lap, the fastest qualifying lap. And by the way, I'm doing this post commentary, as you probably noticed already. Just because I want this to be a little bit of a talky episode, and it's pretty difficult to talk other than very short sentences whilst you're driving. But yeah, this is the qualifying lap. It's not perfect, but it's pretty decent. As you can see, I'm about 2/10 behind my own best time here in the first sector. Already 6/10 behind DC, who's on a provisional pole position. So yeah, the pace is not great. Obviously, Williams is not the fastest car in this game, and I have set the car power and grip team dependent. So we have a little handicap there, but still, it should be one of the top cars, and really not doing too well. Those two corners are a very weak spot for me. But all in all, it's a decent lap. Lost a little bit time there. Missed the apex. Also missed the apex here a little bit, but nothing too serious. Here's the penultimate corner and final corner. This is pretty much the only corner where I'm faster than the AI. And 13th, almost 2 seconds of the pace. So there we go. It's gonna be pretty damn hard, everybody. This game is a lot harder than Grand Prix 2. Here's the starting order. My teammate Heinz-Harald Frentzen is 4th. We're something like a second behind him. And here's the grids for one more time for the race. But yeah, as I said, it's going to be pretty damn difficult. The AI is a lot faster here than in Grand Prix 2. I almost. By the way, I'm short. I'm short fueling the car because the car doesn't really consume that much fuel. I noticed that like at the end of the stint, I still usually have like 5 laps worth of fuel left, adding a little bit of downforce for the race. Probably too much downforce. But yeah, the car doesn't consume a lot of fuel. I don't know if it's the setup or if it's just this track or something, but you should always like under-fuel the car, because... And also I can't really stretch the stints because the tires, they go very bad at the end of the stint here. Once again, I don't know if it's my driving or the setup. It's a learning experience, this. Really good start. There were P8 after the start, so we made up some positions there. But yeah, tire wear is a problem. I don't know. I don't think the AI struggles with tires as much as I do. Like some of the AIs, when you do a full race here, they one-stop the race, which is unbelievable. Like I'm really struggling at the end of the stint when I'm doing 2 stops. So there's absolutely no way in hell I can one-stop this race. Once again, I don't know. Maybe it's my driving style or the car setup, but we'll learn as we go. But as I said before, if you have experience of Grand Prix 3 and you have some good tips, setup-wise, driving-wise, please let me know in the comments. I was also playing with the idea of lowering the difficulty, where we are at the hardest difficulty here, but I don't think I want to lower it. This is going to be a hardcore season. It's going to be hard. We're doing these things because they are hard, and hopefully, as the season progresses, I'll get better, and something similar happens as it did with Grand Prix 2, where my driving was a lot better at the end of the season than in the beginning. But it's gonna be tough, definitely. As I said, the AI is a lot faster, and in addition to that, the AI also, the competition is much closer. Like the whole pack, usually the lap times are like inside 3 seconds or something. So a lot closer than in Grand Prix 2. In GP2, like the slowest cars were like, what, 7 seconds a lap slower than the front runners. So in this game, if I make a mistake, it's not like in Grand Prix 2 where I lost a couple of positions. Here it's like immediately 5 positions if you make a mistake. So I really have to improve my driving quite a bit for this season. But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting experience for sure. Also, I get a lot of questions on how to get this game running with Windows 10. That is a question I cannot answer because I haven't been able to do it. Like I've checked out all the tutorials on the forums, like grandprixgames.org. There's a big thread of how to make Grand Prix 3 run with Windows 10, and sure, I get the game up and running, and it works alright, but then you know it crashes to the desktop. And if you're doing full races, 100% races, that's bad. You don't want that. Like the game might run just fine for an hour or so, but then it just suddenly crashes to the desktop, and that's something I haven't been able to get rid of. I've tried everything, literally everything. So if you suggest something in the comments, I've already tried it. Like, you know, of course using GPX patch and debug mode and only one processor core and you know, all the tricks, but no luck. So I'm running the game with Windows 7. I have an old computer where I installed Windows 7, and with this one the game runs okay. It crashes sometimes, but I've played hours and hours and hours, and it's only done it twice. So I think it is reliable enough to do the season, but we'll probably have to save the game frequently, just in case, because I don't want the game to crash at the like final lap of a full race. That would that would really suck, especially if we're doing well, which is improbable. But yeah, as you can see, the race is going on there. I'm trailing my teammates, 2.9 seconds behind. And what is going to happen pretty quickly is that I am going to start struggling with the tires. Like I'm barely keeping up with Frentzen. Well, not really. He's pulling away, but not really that fast. But whilst race progresses, I'm starting to struggle with the tires more and more, and I completely lose my ability to be anywhere near competitive. So that's pretty interesting. I don't really understand why. Is there a bug in the game that the AI doesn't suffer from worn tires as badly as I do, or maybe it's just me and I suck. That's the more probable cause for that. But yeah, I'm running the. I did update the game. I don't know currently remember which version I have, but I did update it simply because my racing wheel didn't even work with the game with the older version. But here you can see we have a Sauber harassing us from behind, which is annoying. And all the time I'm getting slower and slower and struggling more and more, and there I lost the rear real bad. So yeah, I kind of thought that this game would be easier than Grand Prix 2 simply because now we have better wheel controls and force feedback and everything, but not really. This game is a lot more difficult, and obviously these cars are harder to drive than in Grand Prix 2. Because of the grooved tires, there's really not much mechanical grip, but at the same time there's an insane amount of power in the engine, so you really have to be careful with the throttle. Also, of course, dynamic weather. Rain is going to be notoriously difficult. I'm not really hoping for wet races, but we'll have to deal with them as they come. And hopefully I won't make a giant ass of myself. Hopefully I can only make a medium-sized ass of myself. Oh man, yeah. Also about the game itself, I remember how when this game came out, it got a lot of critique of pretty much being just a weather and a graphics update for Grand Prix 2. And I just made a full hardcore season in Grand Prix 2, and now that I've jumped into Grand Prix 3, it's crystal clear to me that those people who said that they didn't really play this game properly. Like, there's so much more going on in the physics department compared to Grand Prix 2. It's so much more detailed, and also the dynamics of the game, how the weight of the car affects the handling. Like when the fuel burns, the car gets perhaps more oversteery because of the brake balance, the rear of the car getting lighter and all that. And also the tire wear is a lot more detailed, and like in Grand Prix 2 the tire wear dynamics were really, they felt quite simple. Like the car just became slower, but the handling didn't really change according to what the weight of the car was or what the tire wear status was. So yeah, it's this game. It's a lot more to handle, and it's going to be interesting. It will be very fascinating to see what is my level as a driver once this season someday ends. I'm sure I will become better. I did a rough count in Grand Prix 2, like my driving got an awful lot better during the season. Partly that was because I got the controls working better, but of course, like as I said, I did a rough count, and in Grand Prix 2 I think I drove something like 3,000 laps during the season. Like for every full race distance I did something like 2 or 3 practice races, full races. So that times 16, it's closer to 3,000. So with that amount of laps, you should really get better. If you don't, there's something really seriously wrong with your brain. And as I have a lot wrong with my brain, maybe not that badly. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll let you watch the rest of the race without me talking. So I will shut up now and let's just enjoy the rest of the race, which is going to be pretty much a defensive battle. I don't know yet when we're going to start the season. I'm pretty busy with work at the moment, but I'll do my best, and we'll see you when we'll see you. Bye.